Welcome to CourseKey. Today I will be walking you through Skills Tracker. Skills Tracker is a user-friendly, completely digital way to keep track of student competencies or skills. Students simply submit skills to instructors, instructors reject or approve skills, and both students and instructors are able to view student progress along the way. Allied health programs in particular would benefit greatly from implementing Skills Tracker. Students are able to view their clinical requirements and submit competencies on their own, empowering them to take charge of their education and making them accountable. Because students track their competencies, they have a clear picture of their program progress. Best of all, admins, instructors, and students all have access to the same information, keeping everyone on the same page. On my right-hand side is the student point of view. I'm going to show you what it looks like when students submit skills. Students simply click into the student app, click on programs at the bottom, and they're able to view the program that they are enrolled in. Each program contains one or more checklists below. In this program, respiratory therapy, there is manual resuscitation, intubation, and extubation. First, the student will start by selecting the applicable checklist, for example, intubation. Next, the student will click plus count and search for the competency they would like to submit for. For example, obtains the required equipment, resuscitation mask. Let's click that one. Next, the student will select and enter in how many either counts or hours, depending on your preference, they have completed. For example, 1. Next, the student will enter in the date that this was completed. Let's say this was yesterday. Now the student has the option to upload an attachment. Lastly, the student will click Submit. Submission successful. Now I would like to show you what this looks like from an instructor's point of view after the student submits the competency. The instructor will log into CourseKey under the program and see the approval queue. This is where students submit their competencies and instructors are able to approve or reject them. Once they have been sent in, an instructor will be able to click approve or reject. If an instructor clicks approve, it will be approved. If an instructor clicks reject, they will be required to enter in a note as to why they are rejecting this submission. For example, wrong technique. This note will be visible to both students and instructors. After an instructor either approves or rejects a submission, students will be able to view this from their app. In the top right-hand corner, you will see a notification. This notification will tell you that your checklist item has been rejected. To monitor their overall progress in a course, students would go into the app, click on Programs, and click on the specific checklist that they would like to view their progress within. For example, intubation. At the top, you will see that this student has completed 7 out of 56 competencies, or 12%. Students can also more specifically look at how many of the required competencies they have been approved for. For example, this student has completed the 2 out of 2, or 100%. To view each individual submission, the student would click on the competency and scroll down and be able to see each submission that the student has sent for approval. For example, this student has sent on January 16, 2023, 2 hours of this competency, and on January 17th, they sent 1. 1 is pending approval, and the 2 from the 16th have been approved, and they were approved by Hala Yusuf, the instructor. The competencies are not included in the student's progress until they are approved by an instructor. One of the great things about Skills Tracker is students have access to this information at any time of the day with a click of a button. Now let's take a look at how instructors are able to monitor student progress. Instructors are able to view student progress within any checklist by toggling back and forth. For example, let's take a look at the progress within extubation. In the extubation checklist, we see here that Lionel Messi has been approved for 5 of the 38 required competencies, or 13%. Paul Smith, on the other hand, has been approved for 7 out of the 38 competencies, and this makes up 18%. Let's say I, as an instructor, wanted to submit a skill on behalf of a student. All I would have to do is locate the student's name and click Add Count. Next, I would fill out the date that this was completed, for example, yesterday, scroll to the correct competency and fill in the amount. For example, let's say the student verified the physician's order correctly. Let's enter in 1 and click Submit. Now the student's progress, as far as how many they were approved for, went from 5 to 6. Instructors have the ability to submit competencies from multiple students at a time. For example, let's submit competencies for both Lionel Messi and Paul Smith. Let's start by checking the box next to their names. Next, let's click Add Bulk Count in the top right-hand corner. Now let's enter in the date that this was completed, for example, today in class. To view student progress within a different checklist besides extubation, you would click on the name of the checklist and click on the name of the checklist you would like to switch to, for example, intubation. Here you will see that Lionel Messi is approved for 9 out of 56, and Paul Smith is approved for 7 out of 56. To view a student's progress within the entire program, not just one checklist, you would click on the Program Progress tab above. Here you will be able to see all students enrolled in the program, their start date, their end date, and how many hours they have completed for each checklist. For example, here you can see that Lionel Messi has completed 6 out of 38 competencies for this checklist, 9 out of 56 for this checklist, and 10 out of 38 for this checklist. If you would like to look at this in a percentage point of view instead of count, you can click on the percentage icon here. Now you will be able to see that Lionel Messi has completed 16% of this checklist, 16% of intubation, and 26% of extubation. The Program Progress tab makes it easy for you as an instructor to monitor how your students are progressing within the program and locate students who may need help. That's all there is to it. We're really excited for you and your students to start using Skills Tracker. We know you're going to love it.